What is up, CineNerds? I am JP.
And I'm Ryan.
And today, we are doing something that was based on a Stephen King short story called The Monkey.
JP chose this one.
I did. And I chose this one blindly, like I had. I'll go ahead and just say this. I chose this one a little blindly. Everybody I talked to had praised this movie for a while, and kept telling me, I need to watch this movie. And I put it on and half-ass watched it, and saw some things I thought was pretty cool. It was one of those things I put it on. I sat down to watch it and got sidetracked doing some other stuff. Kind of like I said in the last episode, I've just been so fucking chaotically busy. It's been hard for me to sit down and focus on watching some stuff. And so my first time watching this, I just kind of saw bits and pieces of it. And what I saw some stuff that I really dug, and I was like, okay, I need to rewatch this. And so when I decided I got to rewatch this, I told Ryan, let's do The Monkey. So that was why I chose to do it, because I was like, I've got to rewatch this anyway. And here we landed with The Monkey.
Well, I guess my first impression from what you just said will help you out. And it's you go to watch it, and there's only bits and pieces to pull you in. I would take it further to say like the last half hour is worth it. But the rest of it's very hit or miss. There's lots of pacing issues here too. But I definitely went into this, and I had seen this before. I rewatched. I gave it more attention the first watch, and the hope for this was not what I got. I went into this with a different thought process altogether, and it was a little different. That's all.
Yeah, this is an odd one, and I get what you're saying, because it was like, again, my first time watch, I couldn't focus on it, and again, I was busy doing other things, but then it was like when I'd sit down, I felt like this is a little tough to get into. Then I'd walk away, I'd come back in, I'd see something like insane happen quick, and I'd be like, what the fuck just happened there? How did this escalate to here, you know? And so I was like, I've really got to rewatch this film. So to give you a quick synopsis of this film, if you have not seen it, pull one up here for you and read it. When twin brothers Bill and Hal find their father's old monkey toy in the attic, a series of gruesome deaths start. The siblings decide to throw the toy away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. It's a pretty short synopsis. Essentially, this monkey, and it's one of the little toy monkeys that, if this one hits a drum,
Ding, ding,
but
ding.
The old toy monkeys you always saw would clap the cymbals.
Yeah.
And do you know why they didn't use the cymbals? Because of rights issues.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I saw it someplace, and I think Disney owns the rights to that monkey with the cymbals.
Another instance of fuck you, Disney.
Yeah. And so they changed it to the drums, which I think the drums are pretty cool anyway. I think that's less annoying than the cymbals anyway. So, this toy monkey, you see at the beginning their father's trying to get rid of it, but this monkey always reappears. It doesn't matter what they do. They throw it in the well or what they do. The monkey will constantly like follows them and appears. And if you take the key and turn the monkey on, or wind him up, somebody will die in a very brutal, insane way. And the twin brothers, the older of the twins, he's more of a bully, and then the younger of the twins is the picked on one, and he thinks he's going to kill his older brother because he's constantly getting fucked with school, and
it should be said that the older brothers by seconds because they're twins.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But the monkey will not kill who you want. It kills who the monkey wants to kill. So the monkey ends up killing the mother. And from there, the brothers grow up and go their separate ways and do not reconnect until later in the film as adults, when a bunch of mysterious deaths start to happen again, and you find out that the monkey has been found and is being used, and it escalates and goes on from there. But so we'll dive more into it. But that is basically the quick synopsis of this film.
The main protagonist of this movie, the actor, is Theo James. And the reason I talk about him is because my wife and I had a good laugh, because I have been convinced a multitude of times that he is James Franco's little brother, because he looks like he could be a Franco.
See, you know who I thought I kept seeing him? You know who I kept thinking he looked like?
Who?
The Sidney Prescott's brother from Scream 3.
I don't remember who played that.
He's the main killer in Scream 3, and I don't know the guy's name, but I looked at this guy thinking, man, these guys look almost exactly alike, you know. And I actually was like, is it the same guy? But he would be way older than what Theo is, and so it obviously it is not him. I guess Theo was in the Divergent series, or whatever that series was.
Yeah, he was in that. He's also in White Lotus that I recently saw him in.
I haven't watched White Lotus yet, and I know Walton Goggins has showed up in like that new season.
Yeah, I mean, I only have watched a couple episodes because my wife was watching it. I don't know which one you're talking about. Scream 3? Are you sure it's Scream 3?
Yes, it's Scream 3. I don't see him yet, but it is definitely Scream 3 the guy's in. But he's the main killer. He's who plays Ghostface Killer. He's the director of the new Stab movie. And this is going to bother me now. Sorry, guys. We got to look this up.
I mean, you're the Scream expert, so yeah.
Scott Foley. And he played Roman.
Oh, I could see that. Okay. I definitely see him more James Franco.
Definitely when he was younger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know why I kept looking at him thinking, man, these guys could be brothers as well.
Roman Bridger. Yeah.
So we talked, we've already mentioned it a little bit, but this movie, and I still, we're going to talk through some of this as we go, but I don't know where I'm going to rate this movie. I honestly have no clue, because one side of me absolutely fucking thinks this movie is a masterpiece. And then the other part of me is like, man, this movie kind of blows. And I don't think there's an in-between with this film, because I think some of the kills in this film are fucking off the hinge bonkers. They're some of them are fucking great.
My wife's watching this, but she's like, I'm watching it in my chair, and she's sitting on the couch, and she's just like peeking up every so often. She's like, why is everyone exploding in this movie, Ryan?
There is one scene where an air conditioner falls off the roof, and the power cable hits water on the sidewalk or next to a swimming pool, and electrifies into the swimming pool as this girl is jumping in.
Isn't it something to do with the diving board?
And maybe
because when she like sprung off of it, she explodes.
I thought she exploded when she hit the water.
Maybe, I don't know.
I thought as soon as she dived in and she hit the water, the electrified water, her whole body explodes, and like the main the younger of the twins is standing there on the phone with his older brother, and like legs and shit are like flying over like next to him, and he's getting sprayed with blood because this girl just completely exploded. Like some of this, and that's why I don't know if it's a masterpiece or a shit movie, because Some of this shit is so bonkers, and I fucking love it.
Well, that just puts a whole bunch of gray area in our world, JP, because you love the party animal, and I know, Megan, I know the party animal's great. Blah blah blah. No, it's not. So that said, that would be where I'd put absolute shit. I wouldn't put the monkey quite there. So I'm giving the monkey at least a little more than that.
And even like one of the second kill in the movie, the first kill is okay with the pawn shop owner, but the second kill with the babysitter.
Well, let's talk about the pawn shop for a minute.
Okay.
So the guy who goes into the pawn shop to try and get rid of the monkey originally is played by Adam Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Scott, him and Elijah Wood have small, brief cameos in this, and I was here for it. I don't know what it is about Adam Scott having these small kind of roles in these horror one-offs that are amazing, like Krampus. Him and Krampus was great. He was more of a main fixture in that one, but I love it. And Elijah Wood's got his own dark and twisty side too, with all of his stuff he does.
He did the Maniac remake, and that Maniac remake is fucking killer.
Well, and he also I don't know if you watched any of the Yellow Jacket series.
You know, I started the first season,
so
and I haven't
good.
gotten past the first season.
Him being an accomplice to what's her name, Christina Ricci, is just spectacular.
Well, just thank you for that. Haven't got there yet.
You already know once you meet the character, you find out why he's in it. So that's not giving away too much there, guys.
Adam Scott. So he showed up. Like I said, he showed up in a lot of random horror films throughout the years, and he's mainly known as a comedian. You know, he's in Step Brothers and shit like that. And it's always kind of a treat to see him because I think he's fucking hilarious, and it's wild seeing him in here. Like, here, take this toy monkey, or my kids don't like it. You know.
I think Adam Scott, even though his roles are small, I think that he is a well-rounded individual with the diversity of his roles. Mm-hmm. So, like, he's an arrogant, narcissistic prick in Step Brothers, but then in this, he's a scared older guy who just wants to part ways with this monkey. And then you see a concerned father in Krampus. So he just always has something up his sleeve. I'm here for it.
So the second kill, well, we didn't really talk about the kill in the first one, but the first kill, basically the monkey starts drumming, and then all of a sudden a series of events causes a harpoon to get fired and shoots the pawn shop owner, and then it retracts and it pulls his guts out and stretches them across the pawn shop. Which is a pretty cool opening scene. I can't deny that. But that second kill with the babysitter at the hibachi restaurant, I love that one. Like the hibachi chef is sitting there cooking, the hibachi. He like takes the rice and like works it into the shape of a heart, and he's sitting there making it pump, like grinning at her and everything. They're like oohing and ahhing over each other, and all of a sudden he like the monkey's in the car and starts drumming, and all of a sudden the chef pulls his knife out, and it's like you see the videos of the or even like the animes where the people will pull their swords like and like apples will cut in half or whatever it is will cut in half. That's essentially it's essentially what happens. Like you just see him pull the knife out real quick, and then he looks over and you see her start to turn her head at one of the brothers, and the throat's cut. Then all of a sudden her head just falls off and falls onto the hibachi.
It's sizzling.
It starts sizzling.
Yeah.
It's like I said, these kills are so fucking good in this film. That's the one thing about this film that I will praise start to finish, and I think the kills are fucking amazing.
No, the kills definitely are. I don't have a problem with the kills. My problem is that I feel like
it's some of the bogged down in between.
In between is so painfully like there's nothing pulling you in. I do think seeing a dad down on his luck. So mind you, in the beginning you're focused, and there's a lot of flashback between the twin brothers and their chemistry and what ends up happening to their mother too. And he explained the whole wishing he wanted his older brother to be dead. So he hoped to wind this up, and that happened, but it took his mom instead. So you see that go through life and how they completely separate from each other. They're not even in contact whatsoever. Hal grows up to be married and has a son. The son is Petey, and Petey is this defiant, typical teenager who hates his dad because he thinks his dad abandoned him. He gets him once a year, and they're supposed to have this park adventure where they're supposed to go to a park, and that's his time with him for the week. So the whole time, Petey's being this smart-ass, snide little kid who's just like, fuck you, basically, to his dad. Until these interesting things with this monkey start happening, and all of a sudden, Petey's like, what is going on? And he's all of a sudden like trying to understand his father a little more and learn about him. Petey doesn't even understand that his dad has a twin brother or that there's any family, and he's trying to do a family tree for school too. So there's all these different pieces that are coming together. I just didn't like how, like, it could have been done a little bit better in the structure of how it happened. But when those kills happen, you're all of a sudden interested again. But while it's not, the pacing is rough.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I sit with this. Like, I don't know where I'm going to rate this film because the pacing sucks. But God damn, this movie is so good with the kills.
So the pacing sucks up to the last half hour.
I will say
that.
Last half hour, and not trying to give it away yet, but I fucking love this ending of this film.
I do too.
Like,
that's what pulled me back a little bit, because I was about to be like, this fucking sucks, and then we had the ending happening, and all of a sudden everything was right with the world.
Yeah,
not literally.
They end up moving in with their, as kids. Is it one of them or both of them that move in with the aunt and uncle?
I think both of them.
But yeah, I couldn't remember if both of them did. The uncle dies in a hunting accident, and he gets trampled. Like, his body gets trampled in the sleeping bag. When they unzip the sleeping bag, it's just goo. It's all there.
What was it? Spaghetti?
Yeah.
Is the reference? Yeah.
And then years later, when the monkey comes back after they're adults, their aunt dies, and she's making tea or coffee or something on the stove, and her whole head catches on fire, and like, she's running through the house like fucking Ghost Rider with nothing but a flamed head, and runs outside, trips over a vase of flowers, and falls into the mailbox with the wood. Yeah, the pillar at the back of the mailbox is like a spike, and her head literally goes through this spike. Like, these fucking kills are so fucking bonkers. Like, I can't praise this movie enough for some of these kills. Like, they're fucking nuts.
They are. They're creative. They're fun. I don't so every time the monkey is cranked, because the monkey has to be cranked for it to take its souls or kills or whatever it does. Every time it's cranked, we know some kind of new doom is about to happen, if you will. The evil twin, essentially his nephew, Hal's son, Petey, goes into the building because he's being held at gunpoint by this other guy who came in. The other guy, he went to a garage sale or an estate sale after the aunt dies, and he acquires the monkey. He loses the monkey, but now he wants the monkey back because the dude's not right in the head. He's like your typical, I hate saying this phrase even, Columbine shooter type character.
Yeah, he's a young kid that just,
he's not all right in the head, and so he finds Hal and Petey in their car while they're outside of the area where Hal's brother is, the evil twin, and basically holds him at gunpoint, saying, "Get me the monkey. I want the monkey back." And they tell him it's inside, and he makes the dad stay there and tells the son Petey to go in for this thing, where Petey has to square up with his uncle. And the uncle convinces him to turn the crank on the monkey. And the next kill gets even more fun.
Talking about where the kid dies.
Yeah.
This kill's pretty fun too, and not to mention, as the son is going in to get the monkey, he ends up going through a lot of, like, a bunch of booby traps too, with axes and stuff, getting coming out where the tripwires. But the dad, or the good twin, is in the car being held at gunpoint by the young crazy kid, And his son is in there, and the evil twin basically tells him, like, you crank it, and he cons him into cranking the monkey. And at that point, the young kid accidentally fires his gun, and before this, you see there's a big beehive out in front of this car. So the bullet actually penetrates the beehive, and all of a sudden, a whole swarm of bees fly through the bullet hole through the windshield and go straight into this kid's mouth, and basically eat him and sting him from the inside. And like his whole face is just crumbling and falling apart. Like it's a pretty vile looking scene. And I do think that is the effects on some of that was some of the weaker effects though in some of the kills.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I was trying to explain the monkey to my oldest son and my wife, and I equated the monkey to essentially being Final Destination, because this monkey's kills are so, like, whenever death would come for somebody in Final Destination, little things would happen that would lead you to that death. Whether it be a strap holding wood logs onto a truck or anything in that, you've got the similar situation here. So before the beehive came down, you saw the branch start to weigh down, and it was lowering itself so that the bee could get closer to where he was. And so it was interesting how those little things happened. But yeah, that kill, and then from there we go in to this. At this point, Hal leaves the car. He goes in after his son. And they have the good brother versus bad brother thing. But by this time, Petey has already turned the crank. Mm-hmm. And he did the kill with the bees. But I'm drawing a blank. What led to the crazy drum off? Something where he freaked out, and that's where you're getting the speed version of it.
Yeah. He told him the evil brother wound him up, or no, he tried to force his arm down was what it was.
Oh yeah, and he's like, "Why are you so strong?"
Yeah, and he's like telling him, he's like, "I want you to actually kill my brother this time," and he's trying to force his arm down, and like the monkey arm throws him across the room, and then all of a sudden, the monkey's sitting there, and you start seeing. It starts drumming really fast, and
one more time.
And then you start seeing shit falling from the sky, and chaos ensues. But during this time too, the two brothers kind of make amends. You find out that the evil brother is upset at the younger brother because
this part was stupid.
It was stupid. It was. He's mad at him. He's done all this because he's upset because he used a monkey and it was the reason their mother died.
You killed my mom. I know you meant for me, but you killed mom. And with this whole sequence happen,
he's like, "Well, she was my mom too."
And he's like, "Oh yeah,
that's right. I never thought about that."
I was like, "All right, this is like those are the little moments where I was like,
yeah." Those are the moments where I'm like, God, why do you have to ruin this? This film is like could be a top tier fucking film, but you're going to ruin it with bad plot twist like this. But then the final kill of the film
kills,
but the kill in this room. The monkey still has one more to do, and he has this cannon, a booby trap cannon set up, and all of a sudden it shifts, and this cannon shoots, and it shoots their mother's bowling ball, and it hits the evil brother in the head as they were getting ready to all leave and try to live happily ever after, and his head just explodes.
That's not the final kill.
Well, no, it's not the final kill, but it's the final protagonist antagonist kill. But I love this shot though, because when the bowling ball actually sticks into the wall, and if you look at this shot, you can actually see the brother's face like outline around the bowling ball. Did you notice this?
With the eyeballs and the brains. Yeah. No. So I'm still a little perplexed about, and maybe I just lost interest at the point they were explaining it. I don't know. But how did the monkey have the power to radiate outward like that? So what I'm explaining here is, so when that final climatic drum roll happens from the monkey, it's not just a singular kill anymore. It's affecting the world on a mass level. And so what JP was talking about was planes dropping out of the sky. You see fires in the horizon. You see basically systematic chaos and collapse.
So this is my thing, and I always feel like this is a trend with a lot of Stephen King's writings. He likes to become very biblical, and very specifically biblical when it comes to the Book of Revelations. And he's done it with The Stand. He's done it.
Well,
that
one was religious entirely.
Yes, but he's done it with multiple storylines that he's done through the years, and the Stand is obviously one of the most obvious ones. But he tends to do a lot of biblical things in a lot of his writings. I don't think this ending is any different, because when you see the son and the father driving off, and they're driving through this chaos, and you're seeing all these people kind of getting killed. You're seeing planes fall out of the sky. You're seeing buildings burning, and they come to a stop sign or a stoplight, and you see the pale horse and death crossing the road. So to me, it gets more biblical that the monkey actually started the apocalypse with what he was doing. And basically you've got the four horsemen showing up. You got the pale horse showing up with death on it crossing the road. It's just a very biblical revelations thing for a Stephen King ending. That's how I interpret it. And I'm sure that's how a lot of people are going to interpret it, but I could be wrong. That's my take on it, because I know Stephen King likes that.
I mean,
that apocalyptic biblical type thing, and which is always weird because he's very anti-Christianity, but he always tends to fall into that whole Revelations book. I think there's something about that book that has always maybe disturbed him, or he's drew inspiration and stuff for multiple times in multiple different books.
As soon as the pale horse crosses the road and gets across the intersection after a long stare at Hal and his son Petey, a school bus goes by with all these cheerleaders hanging out, and another large vehicle comes by, and all of a sudden, as soon as it passes the bus, all of them are headless and blood spraying everywhere. I mean, we're talking like 20.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a good way to go out. Mm-hmm. I mean, and then you see the apocalyptic background on the back. And so I definitely thought that was much better towards the end. And I didn't expect it to go so fucking 0 to 60 with the end of the world.
Yeah. And that ending is so fucking, I love that ending. I love the apocalyptic ending.
It made it a lot more appealing, I think, for those of us who are horror fans or end of the world fans. I love a good apocalyptic scenario in any instance. Whereas my wife, she does not. Anything that gets that gloomy, she's like, it's too depressing.
And I say I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah. I like it too. I think I'm more into apocalyptic scenarios because me personally, like, there's always going to be some element of power or people trying to take power, but like when you have that system collapse, you have a reset on everyone. Everyone's on an even playing field. So that fantasy of that is appealing, to not have to worry about bills, waking up in the morning, going to a job we all hate, and things like that.
You got anything else about the movie? No. Anything else you didn't like about it or liked about it?
The only thing I didn't like was, again, the pacing in those small moments. Like, I did not. If I can't sit and usually what I like to do is I like to take my phone, I like to put it down, and if I don't touch my phone through a movie, I know it's a good damn movie. Mm-hmm. if I'm finding myself bored in parts and I'm picking my phone up and I'm looking at stuff, or even if I'll pick up my phone to look up IMDb names and I will want to see what actor was and where they're from. And as soon as I start doing that, if I stay on my phone, that's when I'm like, oh, this movie's shit. Like in my head.
Yeah.
But I mean, some movies have surprised me, but I like it to keep my interest. This just lost me in and out until the kills. The kills were fucking amazing. They were. I can't agree more. Those were magical.
Did you look at the budget and box
I did
office?
not.
Do you want to take a guess, or do you want to?
How about we start with this? What was the budget to make it?
You want me to tell you the
Yes.
budget? The budget for this was estimated $10 million.
That's not bad.
No, it wasn't a bad budget.
Wow. Considering all these fucking giant Hollywood pieces of shit with $200 million,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, and for the budget for this film, and as good as this film looks, like this film looks good.
They did marketing right on this too.
Yeah.
So $10 million budget. God, this had to crush. This had to do a little bit. I mean, it had to do decent. I'm gonna go. I don't want to get too crazy, but I'll say like 75 mil.
You're not far off.
Okay.
This film did almost 40 million in domestic. It did another 14 million. Oh no, wait, that's opening weekend. Where's the worldwide? Well, anyway, gross worldwide altogether. It's not giving me the worldwide, but ended up at almost 69 million.
Okay.
Worldwide.
That's a win. I mean, for the studio, it's a win.
Yeah, on a $10 million budget. I mean, yeah, they made 60 million almost.
I don't know where they can go from here though. Like, so there's no hope of any sequels. I don't think. It's a one and done. I think if I had to guess too, knowing Stephen King, he knows how far his movies can get beaten into the ground, and he hates that. So I would say he even probably put something in there saying this is a one and done.
Well, it was based on a short story, so
Yeah.
it wasn't even based on a book. It was based on this. The thing with this film is, God, this film would have just worked so much better as a creep show segment or something.
So when I saw the trailer for this, do you remember obviously not Jason Voorhees, but the 80s series Friday the 13th, where they collect the cursed antiques?
Oh, yeah, I love it. I have it on DVD.
Yeah, so that is what I was hoping out of this. I was looking at the monkey as a cursed antique. We're looking at Annabelle style, thinking I'm going into a horror film. What I got instead was a cheesy, amazing kills movie with a poor story. I don't know. It wasn't what I had hoped by any means, but I really had higher hopes and ambitions for it.
Okay, well, go ahead and dive into your rating. You're already
right,
giving
yeah.
us a little bit of the...
So I was hoping more for a cursed object thing given the monkey, and I had not read the short story by Stephen King. I'll say that outright. So just as a moviegoer, I was totally not a fan of what was happening initially. And then the kills started really happening, and those pulled me back in. I was like, hey, okay, those are solid. Those are great kills, especially after how much we love the Terrifier and all the movies. All my complaining about the pacing and those things, I kind of just put my own foot in my mouth when you said I had a $10 million budget. Because when you have only a $10 million budget and you're making magic happen, that says a lot to me. So I'm going to rate it a little bit higher than I probably initially would have, knowing that. And I'm going to let's go with 3.2 nerds from me.
Okay. So, again, this is a tough one because part of me wants to rate this a bit low. Part of me wants to rate this really high. And not one single part of me wants to rate it in the middle.
Well, I was going to go 2.5 originally, and then you told me the budget, and I'm like, okay, it deserves a little more.
Yeah, but the thing is not 1 ounce of me wants to rate it within the middle ground. I feel like this movie is going to be one that you're going to absolutely fucking love, or you're just not going to like it. You might like the kills, but you're just not going to like the movie. It has pacing issues. It has some dialogue issues. It has some poor plot point issues. But god damn, this movie is actually really fucking good. This movie has so many, and there's a lot of kills we didn't even talk about. There's a montage of kills at one point in this film. there is so many fucking good kills in this movie. And like you said, we were talking about the last half hour of this movie, outside of that little plot twist of you killed my mom, or you're the cause of what caused the monkey to kill my mom dialogue. The last 30 minutes of this is superb, and the ending is fucking great. I've leaned and leaned and leaned more towards that. I fucking actually really love this movie. Even with some of the poor pacing, that there's so many things that I found so fun in this movie and enjoyable that I generally like it. And this is done by the same guy that did Longlegs, which I have not watched yet. I still need to watch Longlegs.
That's another love-hate one, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I've heard that. I've heard people come back about Longlegs like, oh, it's one of the best movies I've seen in years. And I've heard other people, no, the movie's trash. So, and I think that's, if you've seen Longlegs and you're one of those, I think you're going to have probably the same opinion with the monkey. I'm going to hit it high. I'm going to hit this one high. I fucking love the kills. I think it's great. I love the ending. I think the ending is fantastic. 4.2.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I really dig this one.
Okay.
And, yeah.
All right.
But again, I actually understand why somebody would hate this movie. And I really went back and forth. Do I hate it? Do I love it? Do I hate it? Do I love it? And, you know, we're sitting here rethinking about all these kills and that ending. It's just, yeah, I love this film.
I would have absolutely loved if when now that you gave your version of it and I looked it up a little bit too, I would have loved if they did, as the pale horse is riding across the intersection, you did the Johnny Cash and Behold with his voice and say that, and then the man coming around was playing as the cheerleaders got fucking crushed. Fuck yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah. I like the biblical ending. Yeah, and that's what sets it over for me, I think. So
3.2 and 4.2. Okay.
Yeah, we're a point off.
Yeah, that's
a full point.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, those things are going to happen,
and that don't happen a lot with us. A lot of times, there's a lot of times you and I, we're usually kind of right there together. But it seems like when we are different, we're kind of different.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And it was funny too, because the wife, when she like I said, she was just in the room, she wasn't really watching it, so she would look up and be like, "Why are they exploding now?" Like, I would get that all the time. But at the end, she goes, "What did JP make me watch again?" And I was like, "You didn't really watch it." So it was, but yeah, no. If it just, I just wish it had more to pull you in those dull moments. And if it did, that it would have I probably would have been right around where you're at.
You have any recommendations?
Yeah. Oh shit. I just watched a good movie. Oh, Until Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
I did finally watch Until Dawn. I wasn't expecting that one to be as good as it was. For what it was, it delivered, and it was just a good, fun movie to watch.
Yeah, I watched that one pretty recently, but I recommended that one.
And I watched it because of that. So I'm glad you said something, because that was one of those ones I kept putting off and not really giving it its due diligence. And I'm glad I watched it because I appreciated it. It was fun.
Yes, that's a fun one. I actually posted about this one. When this comes out, I posted about this one a few weeks ago, but right now I posted about this movie, I think like 2 days ago. Hunter x Hunter. Have you seen this movie with Devon Sawa?
I saw your post, but I have not seen it.
So I want to mention this movie and recommend this movie very specifically while we're reviewing The Monkey, because I feel like Hunter x Hunter is going to be kind of like The Monkey, even though I think the storyline and everything is definitely better written than The Monkey. And if you've not seen Hunter x Hunter, actually, I watched this because I read an article a while back, and it was an article with Mike Flanagan talking about how he thought this was one of the best movies of like most best original movies that he's seen in years, and it was a little indie film called Hunter x Hunter, starring Devon Sawa, and it's basically there's a serial killer mutilating and dropping bodies out in these woods. Devon Sawa, his wife, and their child are basically live off the land out in the middle of these woods. They're kind of wilderness people, and it takes off from there. I don't want to give anything away. Now, I will say the thing about this movie that I kind of say with like the monkey, there's some pacing issues with Hunter x Hunter. However, the payoff by the end, I said this in my post, this has got to be one of the greatest, most satisfying endings I've seen in the majority of any films I've ever seen. Like it is the single most satisfying ending I've seen in a. I couldn't tell you when I've seen a more satisfying ending. It takes a while to get there because it's not that it's the story really bogs you down. It's just it's an indie film. It has a little bit of a slower pace. It's not going to have that high octane action and things of that nature.
But that's okay though.
Yeah,
that's so important to talk about because like you don't have to have a crazy pace as long as there's substance there.
Yeah.
If there's not substance, that's where I lose interest, and I feel like those quiet parts in the monkey did not have substance.
Yeah.
So, but the kills and the overall story, fun.
Yeah. And this is more of a psychological movie. You know, it's not about the kills. This movie is not about the kills. It's about the psychological shit that's going on. And you like psychological horror and, you know, you want to check out a really fun one that's a newer indie film. I think this film came out and it's been within, I think, the past 5 years. I can't remember what year it came out, but it's a newer film. Check out Hunter x Hunter. That film, the ending you're going to understand
Is
when
this
you
like
get
the
there.
anime Hunter x Hunter?
No, it is not. So not to be confused with Hunter x Hunter, the anime. And actually, I was actually thinking about that. I was like,
I'll also tell you guys one to stay away from. If you like mob style movies, don't watch the movie Legend with Tom Hardy. Just throwing that out there.
what?
I didn't like it.
I love
I
Legend
didn't-
with Tom Hardy. I mean, he plays twins, and just that one scene alone where he's like the one twin is he's gay.
Oh, where he goes, no,
He's
no,
gay.
no, and he pulls the
He's-
gun up.
No, I'm talking about the scene where he's talking to the one guy, the gangster guy. That's,
Oh, yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, "I'll get you girls and this and that." And he's like, "I like boys." You know, I don't know. Tom Hardy in that movie makes it like,
Well, yeah, anything Tom Hardy does is pretty good to me. That's why I watched it, and there's so many good memes and stories out of those moments where he's being super tough. Some of the fight sequences you get your blood going. You're like, fuck yeah! But like by the time I was done, I was the way that the wife narrates it throughout. I got like a casino vibe, right? But I
Yeah.
didn't get a casino feel.
well, you know, the movie's based on a true story.
Yeah, but
so
are most of these mob
Yeah.
movies, and I just feel like this one didn't execute to its best ability.
I will argue that Tom Hardy's movie Legend is fucking great. Like that,
yeah.
I love that movie.
Stay away from it.
I own that movie.
I do too. I unfortunately bought it in the stupid Fandango sale.
I did not buy that on sale because I liked it and paid full price.
I know. Sale all day. All right, guys.
CineNerdsPodcast.com.
Make sure you put it out there and share with your friends. Help us grow.
Leave a comment. Click like. If you're even commenting in the live chat, go back and leave us a regular comment. Check our shop out. Buy some shirts. Buy some coffee mugs. You can drink coffee out of a CineNerds cup with mine and his face on it.
And support 2 independent small businesses at the same time. It's amazing.
Till next week, guys.
Later.
Peace.